Bushmeat from markets in Africa end up smuggled into the United States and can pose a hidden threat here at home. Where did it come from? Why is it spreading? Can anyone stop it? And is there a cure? Ebola inside the deadly outbreak. Somewhere on the other side of the planet, in a hidden corner of a tropical rainforest, a new virus is surely incubating. A pathological killer that could unleash a deadly plague at any time. ABC's chief medical correspondent, Dr. Rich Besser, takes us on a harrowing journey to the heart of darkness.
I'm crawling through the dense jungles of Cameroon with a man we call the virus hunter. He's in a race to stop a virus before it can infect human beings.
What our work is focused on is understanding what's out there that could potentially harm us as a species.
If you think this has nothing to do with you, think again. Inside the bush, animals hold the potential for worldwide danger. These paths are not just local roads, they are a virus's highway.
When you see a logging road, what do you think about?
I think about the potential for both animals as well as humans with new viruses to get to cities where you have planes, cities where you have boats.
So things that happen in Central Africa don't stay in Central Africa.
You got it.
The bridge from animal to human? It's believed that fruit bats are the main reservoir of Ebola, carriers who don't get ill, but spread the disease to other wild animals. And then to humans, through bushmeat. Raw meat from apes, monkeys, and others killed for food, and who may carry the virus with them. But this meat doesn't always stay in the bush. Poachers sell it on the black market, and it's smuggled around the world, sold to immigrants longing for a taste of home. A few years ago, ABC News correspondent Dan Harris found what seemed to be black market bushmeat in this New York supermarket.
How much you sell that one?
It's a pound, $20 a pound.
$20 a pound, that's too much, man. Yeah, man.
I mean, so this seems to indicate that this stuff is not hard to get.
We know that it's readily available not just in Queens, but also in parts of Washington, D.C., parts of Minneapolis, St. Paul, other centers around the country. And it's because people have a passion for bushmeat. They want that taste from home.
This African immigrant, a mother of 10 named Mamie Monet, was sentenced to 3 years probation for importing crates of monkey meat, which she has said her community consumes to celebrate religious holidays. Are you guys selling bushmeat out of here?
No.
No?
No, bushmeat, no. Fish, dried fish, snails, bushmeat.
We had an investigator with a hidden camera come in here, and he found what he said was cane rat from Africa.
We don't have it.
So nothing whatsoever.
No, we don't have it. Bushmeat.
Yep.
My friend.
Okay.
Please.
And you're the owner, you say?
The CDC says they're concerned. Experts say that meat like this could potentially be teeming with Ebola, or worse, undiscovered viruses carrying unknown threats. That's why Dr. Nathan Wolf's research is critical, searching in animals' blood for tiny microbes, diseases that could grow into lethal pathogens. It's not alarmist, it's happening. The deadly swine flu that killed 18,000 worldwide jumped to humans from pigs, HIV from a monkey, and now Ebola.
Ebola is now an epidemic of the likes that we have not seen before. It's spiraling out of control. It is getting worse. It's spreading faster and exponentially.
Where Ebola's hit the hardest?
It's okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Liberia, the epicenter.
Not a lot of flights coming into Monrovia, and those that are coming in, they're screening everybody for Ebola.
Surreal, uneasy, in the grips of something awful. Monrovia, Liberia is a capital under siege by the deadliest Ebola outbreak in history. Doctors and relief workers suited up like spacemen make their way through the streets. in a race to contain the virus that so far they've been unable to stop.
What government wants to do is to find out who are those that are sick so we can treat them.
So they basically are checking who can come in and out of West Point. Only people with aid supplies and medical staff can go in and out, and soldiers.
ABC News reporter Carrie Eldo is Liberian-American, and she's been filing reports from a neighborhood here.
How many bodies have you picked up today?
11 bodies.
Where thousands are under quarantine, she has watched as fear turned to despair, despair to anger, and then pandemonium. There's been looting and rioting. The only routes out are ones nobody wants to take, by ambulance, straight to an Ebola treatment center, or in a body bag. Liberia is a country founded by freed American slaves. The president, Ellen Sirleaf Johnson, is Harvard educated and lived in New Jersey. And the main hospital is named for our own president, John F. Kennedy.
This is the emergency room, and you can see there's no one going in, there's no one going out. That's because there are no doctors to take care of patients. There's no one here.
No one here, it's a ghost town.
This unit, it's stuck back in the furthest corner of the hospital compound. It used to be used for treating people with cholera, and now it's where they're putting patients who may have Ebola. Many of them do.
The facilities are makeshift. Their protective gear is the only barrier between them and the disease. They've had to make some of it themselves.
They don't have hoods that are ready-made, so they're making hoods out of other protective equipment. The temperature, is it hot in what you're wearing?
Oh yeah, that's the heat.
The heat is too much?
Yeah, too much.
The place is not just like ordinary hospitals. If you are finished with what you want to do, you don't just leave and leave the others there. I'm okay.
But he's got a hood, he's got 2 layers of gloves on, an apron, boots, outer clothing, a mask, and goggles, so that every part of his body, every inch of skin is totally covered up. Even though I've spent my career working on infectious diseases, I have to confess, this is scary.
You don't touch anything, okay? You just use your eyes. And you may talk to somebody, but you don't touch anything. Okay. This is Ebola Zaire. Highly contagious, highly infectious, very dangerous. So you have to take very good care. Don't rush to help somebody. Don't pick up things. Don't panic. Eh?
Stay calm.
Stay calm.
This is the Ebola isolation unit. He's about to go in. When he opens the door, you can take a look. Patients with Ebola are everywhere.
The team is not allowed to go any further, even in all their protective gear. Ebola is named after the river in the Congo, where the virus first appeared in 1976. There have been major outbreaks since then, but never like this. Cases began showing up in March of this year. In June, the first case walks into Monrovia's Elwa clinic.
My job in the Ebola unit was to make sure that doctors were suited up properly.
At the time, Nancy Wrightbowl is a Christian missionary from North Carolina with no formal medical training.
When doctors went in, I wanted to make sure that they were dressed properly, and when they came out, I wanted to make sure that they had been decontaminated properly. And I felt the weight of that, I can tell you.
We've been in Ecuador for 5 years. We were in Zambia for 8 years, and then in Liberia. We've traveled in many places.
But they have no idea what they've signed up for this time. As the death toll mounts, Liberian health workers start to fall ill.
I had a co-worker who ended up having Ebola and died. And I had trained him for 3 nights.
By midsummer, one by one, 8 organizations make the wrenching decision to pull out of Liberia. But the Wrightbowls stay. So do doctors Kent Brantley and John Fankhauser, physicians, and fellow missionaries who work at Nancy's clinic.
Our hospital is a busy, 45 to 50 patient